The night I found out my boyfriend drained our joint savings, I was standing in the kitchen, counting out the cash for our overdue rent, already tense from the way he'd been snapping at me all week. He'd always preached about being responsible, about how we were in this together. Then I checked the account and saw zeros where there should have been rent, groceries, a future. I confronted him, voice shaking, and after a few minutes of ridiculous excuses, he finally spat out the truth. He'd spent it all on his ex's OnlyFans. Every last cent. I felt the skin on my face go cold, like my body couldn't keep up with my brain. He tried to justify it, said he was helping her out since she was struggling, but his eyes darted away every time he spoke, and I knew there was more to it. I'd seen the way he paused on her Instagram stories, how he'd get defensive if I even mentioned her name. Turns out, it wasn't just money he was giving her, he'd been meeting up with her, too, and suddenly every late night with the guys made sickening sense. The fight was ugly. Plates shattered, words hurled, neighbors pounding on the wall. He cried, begged, promised it was over, swore he'd never speak to her again. But the worst part was hearing myself say I forgave him, just so I wouldn't have to be alone, just so I wouldn't have to face the wreckage of my own self-worth. I let him stay, told myself it was for us, but I knew deep down I was just scared that maybe I was easier to betray than to love. A month later, I found myself scrolling through my bank transactions at midnight. He was asleep next to me, breathing steady. I realized I was terrified of losing him, not because I loved him, but because I didn't know who I was without someone to rescue, someone to break me and beg forgiveness. That's when it hit me, I wasn't saving our relationship, I was hiding from myself. So I packed a bag, left the key on the counter, and walked out into the night, finally choosing me over his endless apologies.